Hey guys, welcome to the video. My name's Anthony Gregory. In this video, we're going to be talking about how to start a successful clothing brand in 2023. I'm 19. I run Buzz Riders. That's what this YouTube channel is about. Buzz Riders is a clothing brand. I came up with the concept in 2020, but I actually started to really take the clothing brand seriously in 2021. And here we are in 2022, coming towards the end of the year. Almost in 2023, that's why the video is how to start a clothing brand successfully in 2023. So in this video, I just want to run you through my experience running a clothing brand for the last almost 2 years. Okay, so the first step, the first main thing that you are wanting to do when you start a clothing brand is coming up with a brand name as well as a brand concept. The brand concept doesn't have to be super technical, it doesn't have to be super complicated, it can just be really simple. With my clothing brand, it's all about spreading mental health awareness through action sports such as mountain biking, surfing, motocross, all that kind of, action sport kind of stuff, like getting out in the wilderness and, doing your thing. And when you go out and you surf and you ride your bike and you ride your motorbike, you're in the moment, all you're thinking about is riding your bike, and all your kind of worries and stuff just leave you because the adrenaline's pumping through your body and you're just super stoked to be out there. So that's kind of the why behind my brand. I only came up with the why when I personally struggled with mental health when I was working in construction in 2020. And then earlier this year, I went through some stuff, and I was in a dark place with my mental health, but instead of taking that energy and not doing it, instead of taking the kind of depression and anxiety and just letting it ruin you, I took that energy and put it into starting a clothing brand. I was like, this mental health stuff is super hard. Depression and anxiety is such a hard subject these days. And so I was like, if I can create a clothing brand where I can help the generation to use that energy and turn it into a positive, I was like, why not do that? So that's kind of the first step, coming up with your brand name and your brand reason. And once you have a brand reason, it makes it much easier to market your clothing brand, So what I have done with the marketing side of things is I've taken advantage of the social media such as Instagram and TikTok. TikTok's amazing because every video you post isn't going to go viral, but you can just post every day, just come up with new content ideas, and you just keep posting content, and eventually you'll find what's working for your brand, and you'll find the community that is following and supporting what you do, and then you can create videos that resonate with that community. So that's another thing, is use social media to advantage. TikTok and Instagram are such a good platform to grow your brand, and you get one viral video actually explaining the why behind your brand, and people resonate with it. They'll follow you, they'll go to your website, they'll have a look at what products you have. So that's kind of the back end, kind of the how to market the brand and whatnot. So moving on from coming up with your brand name, your brand identity, and the marketing side of things, talking about the actual clothing side of things. So personally, how I started was with print on demand. I used Printful and Printify, and I just had my logo and I slapped it on a t-shirt, an AS Color t-shirt, and had it up on the website, and didn't really market it much. I kind of just was posting random videos, not really knowing what I was doing with the clothing brand. This is before I kind of knew where I wanted to take it with the mental health awareness side of things. And I was kind of just like, oh yeah, my clothing got a logo on it, yeah, that's cool. So that's how I started with print on demand. It's definitely a good way to start if you don't have a lot of money to invest. But earlier this year, I was like, you know what, I don't just want to have a print on demand, merch line. I actually want to create a clothing brand, have custom pieces. So I went and did a whole bunch of research for about a month, and I found a few suppliers overseas in China, and they can literally create anything. And so what I did is I took inspiration from other clothing brands that I liked with their fit and some designs, aspects. I took that and then I mixed it in with my own ideas to create the clothing brand that I wanted. So definitely, if you guys want to learn more about the cut and sew on and design aspect of things, definitely leave a comment down below. Make sure to subscribe, please, because there's going to be more content like this behind the scenes of the clothing brand, and also much more kind of like lifestyle vlog content when I'm going riding with the boys, you know, and maybe a few live calls with my suppliers and whatnot. So definitely drop a comment, drop a like, drop a subscribe. That'd be epic. So moving on, got some samples in. Everything was pretty good. Some of the sizing was a little bit off with the hoodies and t-shirts. The hoodies were way too baggy, and so I cut them down, and you know, I was like, it needs to be this, this, and this, and sent all the information back to them. They sent me some new samples. These new samples turned out perfect. Ordered a bulk order. I spent $9,500 New Zealand dollars on the bulk order. It was actually only, I think it was probably $7,000 worth of clothing, but then it was $2,000 worth of shipping from China. So I had to break that into my break-even costs and whatnot. So that was a big kind of chunk of money, you know, and that's kind of the pricing of what you can expect if you go the cut and sew on route, because these Chinese suppliers, they work with like massive brands that are ordering thousands and thousands of units, you know, and they're spending like 50 grand minimum, you know, on an order, and there's me over here spending like 9.5 grand, because that's a lot of money to me. So yeah, that's kind of like a few back end things. And then moving forward, the bulk order arrived. We then had a mountain biking event where I managed to get a chance to have an expo for the clothing brand, which turned out amazingly. As you can see the flag behind me, I had this in the gazebo, all the signage, and that did really well. We did a few thousand in sales, which really like, okay, this is actually going to work. I can actually take this to the next level, and I can do this full time, you know. So definitely that's another thing. Try get into events, try do pop-up stands, and all that. So yeah, I hope this video's been informative. If there's anything else you guys want to know when you're starting the clothing brand in 2023, definitely leave a comment down below. I know this is kind of a brief overview of starting the clothing brand. Yeah, that's the main thing. So first off is creating your logo, creating your brand identity. Second off is marketing, how to market your products. Third is have quality products and cool basic designs, because basic always sells well. As you see, I'm wearing a white t-shirt with a black logo, tiny little Buzz logo, but people love it, you know, because people buy your clothing not just because it looks cool. They buy it because it looks cool, but they also buy it because of the why behind your brand. So if you have a really strong why behind your brand, they will come back and buy every single piece of every single drop you ever do. So hope you all have an amazing rest of your day. Bloody legends for sticking around and watching this far of the video. If you've got any questions, please drop them down in the comments. And yeah, legends, hope you all have an amazing rest of your day. Ciao.